How we doing, folks? Welcome back to this video. The brew is actually done this time. It's fully fermented. It went mental because of this heat. It was stuck around 30 degrees, 28 degrees C. So I think it's had a nice fermentation there, and it smells lovely. It smells definitely different than the beer that I usually make. So remember, this is strawberry cider, folks. Strawberry cider indeed. Got my siphon tube. Remember that? This was that cream stout that I created, and it didn't fully ferment, but I continue to drink it anyway because I don't want to waste it. But basically, I haven't drunk any for a long time now. That's when the furlough thing was actually going on, and I was going on a program called House Party, talking to all the folks on there and stuff like that. And I was drinking this and mixing it with like lager, you know. Not great, but you know, done the job, folks. Had a great time, great laugh. IKS brew, indeed. So this is actually, sadly, going down the sink. But I'm going to have a little sample of it. Well, I don't know if there's any pressure in it, because I haven't touched it for about a couple of months. That's not... Might not be able to get anything out of it. That's stuck. Stuck with the beer, folks. That's it. Alright, let's try and get it. Wow. It still smells alright, you know. Bloody stains though, look at it. Yeah, let's try it. Yeah, I remember that taste. It tastes like it's not fully fermented. It tastes dead, if you know what I mean, folks. Yeah. I will not be sorry to see this one go. So let's dump it. What I will get, I'm going to clean this cup. In the upstairs, I've got some pure Soviet Union stout. We're going to knock that one at some point, folks. It's not Soviet Union. It sounds better if you do it that way. The old orange juice. If you're ever down Savers, folks, Morrison's, check out some orange juice. What can I say? Ah, right. Down to business. Let's get this stuff dumped. I've had enough of it now. There's a tool you can get. I've got a tool. 1 second. Oh, it's getting hot in here. So yeah, I bought this years ago. This, it's like a spanner, cap spanner they call it. It's plastic. I thought it was going to be more tough than that, but it does do the job. Sometimes. It just gives you a bit of leverage. So, is that the right way? No. Let's tighten it up. Oh! Oh no! Stained the floor with stout. Oh, please. Right, so before we start, folks, let's tighten up this knob. Make sure nothing falls out. And it's come undone. And there we go. That's great. Just pick this up. Lovely to drink. So let me know in the comments, folks, if you like longer videos like this. If you don't like the long ones, I'll cut them down completely to the bare bones. You leave that in the comment section, because my cooking videos and stuff like that, that was an hour and 4 minutes long, that lasagna one. You know, I'd like to sort of leave it practically unedited, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Just let us know anyway, and let's do this. Right. That's off. Cap's off. You remember all this tape we've had around it? This was the PTFE tape. It seals the king keg pressure barrels. King keg pressure barrels are renowned, if that's the word, of leaking all the time. If you haven't got a pressure gauge like that, it will most definitely leak. When you go to pour it, it'll be flat, as which is tipped. So I use PTFE tape. You get it cheap off of Amazon. You get like 3 packets. Just chuck it in your filing cabinet or in your drawer or whatever, folks. And then you've got it ready for your next brew. Right there. There it is. Right, let's shut this down the sink. It shouldn't block the sink, folks. Shouldn't do. Very dirty things though, these. Oh, God's sake, what am I doing? It's all going everywhere. I don't know, I could have whacked more yeast into that. I don't know if that would have done anything. Don't want to see this, do you, folks? Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a siphon tube and I'm just going to siphon in some water. Take this little ball end off, just stick the hose into there, and just stick the other end on the tap. I can't be bothered to do this in the bathroom, I just can't be bothered. Just do it down here from now on. And we just do that, rocking and rolling. And you've got your how much pressure you want to pop in. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to fill this up a little bit, about a quarter of the way, and then lid goes on, I'll give it a good shake, tip that, and we fill it up again, give it a good shake, tip that, and then we'll put some sanitizer in it, stick the hose in it. We've got the hydrometer and spoon, whack that in it for a laugh, eh? And then we're up and rolling. We get back to the instructions and see what it actually says, because I've forgotten. Take that off, we don't need that now. Tap shut. That. Nice shake. Lid off. You might get a hiss because obviously it creates a little bit of pressure. Tip it. Loads of stuff still in there, look at that. Still black. Now we don't want no beer taste in this at all. So I'm going to do this again. Tube in. On to tap. Start. And then we'll fill it up 3/4 of the way. Put in a bit of sanitizer. And then leave it 5 minutes or what have you. Longer the better, I guess, I don't know. But that's a doorbell. First time I've done cider, so like from a kit anyway. I've done cider from apple juice. Didn't work out very well, tasted a bit horrible actually. Right, knock that off. Lid's on, yep, lift it. And give it a good old shake, folks. Lid off. Down the sink. By doing that as well, you're actually cleaning the pipes out of that dirty coloured water. Right, I hope this angle's working, folks. I'm just trying to get a wider shot so we can actually get both things in. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to fill it up with water again. Taps off, make sure that's off. And we're going to fill it 3/4 of the way. This is going to be an enjoying video. And have a pint of orange juice if you've got it. It's not a requirement of the beer making technique, so. The water pressure is not very good here. That's why it's coming out like that. I think the hot tap's got more pressure. Right, that'll do, I think. Well, I'm not going to fill it up to the 23 litre mark because I was going to give it a little shake and stuff, get everything touching the sanitising liquids, because otherwise it gets too much, folks, doesn't it? Right, I use this. Don't know if that's picking it up, folks, but that's what I put into my sterilisers. Give them a good old clean. A couple of teaspoons. What do you reckon? Chuck in the spoon, if it fits. Hydrometer. Put this back on the end of your... God, that cup's going to come off. Hose. Whack that in. Making sure not to break the hydrometer. The spoon just about fits. That's it. Lid on. It's on that spoon. Give it a little wow, that's heavy. Give it a little shake, folks. So you're getting the lid as well. So now that lid it's got that sanitizer on it. It's going to stay on there, and it's going to, you know what I mean? Might get some bad comments, but that's how I do it. Hasn't gone bad for me yet. Right. So I got the instructions from this website. The kit did come with instructions, but I didn't use it because it didn't make sense, part of it. I think I did say it in the first video. But yeah, these instructions are easy to follow, so link in the description, folks, check it out. After fermentation, 7 to 10 days. Well, that took about 4 days. Not too bad. So yeah, hydrometer reading should be 1000 or lower, and no activity. No activity. The actual, when it's fermenting, you get a bulge in the lid, and when that goes down, then there's no more bubbles coming out. That means it's fermented. So that's how. But it was bulged really up, and yeah, that's fermented 100%. So once we get this done, we'll get the hydrometer out, and we'll pop that in, and it should sync. And I will film that. I think I'll try and film that somehow. I think that's the maximum. But yeah, we'll give it a go. Lift this up. Yeah. When that's had 5 minutes, I'm going to release some of the water through the tap, if not all of it, so we can get the sanitizer through that to clean the tap out. So yeah, I'm going to give it a little rinse after as well to get the rest of the sanitizer solution off, because you don't want your cider to taste, or beer, wine, to taste like that. Sanitizer. Everything's in there, it's all sterilised, so let's just open up that and give it a clean actually. I'm just going to do that, I'm just going to release it that way. Give it a little rinse. That tap is actually called a sparkler tap, and I got it years ago off of eBay. A company was selling them, and they're really good because you control the flow. If you use the original taps that come with the pressure barrels, this high pressure, and it comes out until the pressure gets down, and then it does. It doesn't do it as often, but with these ones you can control it a bit better. Quite handy. There is a video done on it years ago. Like 2014 or something like that, so try and check that out. It's called Spark. Type in IKEA Sparkler Tap or something like that. So one thing I should have done in here is, we'll stop that for a minute. I should have got a sponge. Use the sponge side, don't use the raspy side. if that's the word, because you don't want to scratch this, because that's how bacteria gets in, especially with these, because it will mess them up. So take that out. Hydrometer. Put that there. We're just going to give the inside a quick wipe, because I forgot to do that. Amateurs, folks. What can I say? You still got the hose in there. But this is my way of making beer. Everyone does it differently, folks. Remember that Craig Tube? He's had a lot of comments, nasty comments from brewers and that, saying, "Oh, you're doing it the wrong way," and you do it how you feel you want to do it. Because I do it this way. I feel comfortable. I've been doing it for years, no problem. Then you get some of the professionals out there that do it, and it's like, "Oh no, that's not real beer." It's like, well, it tastes good. Who cares if it's not all grain or and all that? Check out Craig Tube, because he's the person who got me into home brewing. In the description, folks, are in the card above. Craig Tube, really good. Bless his heart. He's a good guy. He really loves it. Right, I think that'll do. Continue. Give a little splash about in there. If I get an infection, then that's my fault. That'll do. Let's get the hose out of it next. Cold. Yep, so that's done. Pop that over here out of the way. There's not many places you can put it that you think's clean. It's one of them. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. To kill two birds with one stone, we're going to get that back on. I'm going to siphon the water back into there and rinse that out, and also it's going to be rinsing the tube. So take the cap bit off again, and in there, not a lot, it's just a tiny bit, just to there you go. That hose is rinsed, that's ready to use. Same as this. I've got this on eBay years ago. A good little thing. Pop it on that. One side, put it to one side. Cap back on. Whoops-a-daisy! Don't want to break this, folks. Cost a lot of money, that did. Oh, Jesus. Give it a rinse. Lid back off. Yeah, I haven't took them off for years actually. I'm sure they'll be fine though. The seals look pretty good. Don't forget to put the screw back on there. That's basically the controller screw. And before we put the beer in it, make sure this is shut and done up tight on the inside, because I had to do it myself. I had to go into the barrel and tighten it up. Put my hand in the beer, make sure it was clean, and tighten the nut up from the inside. Not very nice doing that because you don't know any infections get in there. So, right, good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try and get a nice angle on the camera. No, actually first what I'm going to do, hold up. We're going to get the hydrometer reading, folks. So I'm going to have to get the camera at some angle where we can do this. Pop that up there for now, because this has got to be lower than this when we're siphoning it, because the water's got to go down. If it's at the same level, it won't siphon out. Wow! Cool. Yeah, that's tangy, folks. Smells weird. First impressions, folks, it smells a bit eggy. But that's just because I haven't used this one before. So, hydrometer in. Whoop. There you go. Not bad, if I must say, folks. It's just slightly above 0, but that'll do me. I've done fermenting that. It's not going to go any further. I've never really done the hydrometer readings on any brews. I just basically rack them up, watch it bubble. As long as it's been bubbling and stuff like that, you should be fine. But some people like to do it just to be safe. Right, so make sure the tap's shut. Make sure that's done up at the bottom, because the last thing you want is to start siphoning this out and it starts leaking out the bottom, folks. So, that into there. This one's up here. There's just double thinking there, folks. Yeah, so we're going to siphon this into here, then we're going to add some sugar, and then we're going to add that sweetener. And it says stir it. I want to double check on that, because you're not supposed to disturb it too much. Because the more air you get into it, the more oxygen you get into your beer, it's going to kill it, and it's going to make it go off. So we've got to watch that. So, right, tap shut. Make sure. Let's go. This tube I bought off of eBay with the thing on that. Amazing. It's really large diameter. It transfers 23 litres of alcoholic liquid in no time at all. One of the ones that come, like say when you get a kit, you get the fermentation barrel and the pressure barrel. It comes with a tiny little 5mm siphon tube, and you're there all day basically. So this thing's like 15 to 20 in it, must be, or 10, I don't know. A little halfway there, folks. So yeah, so if you started doing this and your tap was open, how bad would that be? I know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know if you meant to have had the sweetener before siphoning it. So what I will do, I'll put the sugar in, get that rocking. Now I'll add the sweetener into it, put the sugar in, seal it, and then give it a little shake, and I think that'll be alright. Try and get every last little drop out, folks. There you go, I've done it, the whole lot. because that's done now. So if you was doing this same bottles, I was reading this on the thing. If you was going to do this in bottles, you have to. They recommend transferring this to another vessel so it can clear, because you've got all this stuff at the bottom, so it can clear more and leave it for another few days, and then when you bottle it, you're not going to have all that sediment at the bottom of the bottles. That's understandable, because I've done this Belgian beer and it had that sediment. That sediment is nasty. Once you disturb it, it's like, let's say there's quite a few trips to the toilet the next day, folks. Right, so that's done. I'll clean it out later, as well as that, and the lid and the hydrometer in there. That'll be done upstairs, out the way, because I'm not doing it down here. Right, that's in. So how much sugar do we need? Let's check out the old. Let's put this up here first. Oh, bloody hell! That's heavy, folks. It's heavy indeed. Again, make sure this is tight, because once the pressure starts building up inside, hand tight, not tool tight, hand tight, as tight as you can go with your hands. Because once that pressure starts building up inside the barrel, I've had this leak before, one of these, because I hadn't tightened it up properly, and yeah, I went up to a party, come back the next day, and it was all over the floor, and I was so lucky I thought it had gone through the ceiling, but we was alright. La 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 la. Transferred keg. Yeah, so I think we should have put that sweetener stuff in before transferring it, but it's done now. So we're going to add 60 grams of sugar. Yeah. Check this whole thing out. 60 grams, eh? Oh God, how am I supposed to do that? Right, so this is why you need digital ones, folks, because I don't know where 60 is on this thing. It's what some might call an old classic. And I'm not using brewing sugar, I'm using table sugar. I'm sure it's like 2 ounces or something like that. Let's just chuck it in and I'll probably remember what it looks like. Yeah, I reckon it's about that. Can you see that, folks? Don't want to chuck it on the floor. But we're going to chuck that in, but we're going to sweetener. Alright, here's the sweetener. Strawberry flavouring. They probably say sterilise the scissors, but I forgot. Oh wow! What? That smells bloody. Whoa! That is pure. That's pure sweetening. Let's chuck it in. And if necessary, add more if you want. It's up to you, isn't it? Nice. That smells like sweets. Right, we've added that sweetener. That's in. That's into the barrel, folks. It'll probably make it smell a bit better. Yeah, smelling great already. That's done. Add the What we're going to do first, we're going to put on the PTFE tape. I'm not going to get a close-up angle. I've done videos on this before. I think there's a video called How to Seal the King Keg. Let's get the beard hair off of that, folks. I'll just go around. It doesn't matter. This stuff is cheap. It doesn't matter how many times you go around. The more times you go around, the more likely it's going to seal proper. that'll do. I don't know what's happened here. Right, sugar in. You might get a bit of like a volcano stuff happening in there, but it's fine. It won't overflow, folks. It's not like sodium bicarbonate or whatever they call it. Right, that in there. Whack the lid on. That's it, hand tight folks, hand tight. Alright, that's that. And what we're going to do now, just watch your back doing this because it's bloody heavy, can't believe. Oh Jesus folks. Is that right? That'll do, little turn like that. I'm sure that'll be fine. Because it's gas, there's just going to be gas in there. Look at that, the gas is built up already. It's at 3 psi. Can we see that? There you go. Nice folks. It seems that my manual handling from the old work paid off, folks. Right, so yeah, bend your knees, keep your back straight. That's what it's all about. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Right, so thanks very much for watching, folks. We'll definitely do a taste test on this sometime soon, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't taste like eggs. Something went wrong, folks. Something went incredibly wrong. Big shame. I fermented this in the hottest summer we've had in decades, and basically the yeast got very upset with the heat. It was maximum temperature, so basically I've messed up the beer, folks. I messed up the beer. It's got a sulphur taste to it, sulphur smell, which is basically eggy, and it's undrinkable. So this lot, 40 pints, has to go down the plug hole. I am so upset about this, but that's all there is to it. So let's just do this. It's the only problem. That's the way it goes, folks, unfortunately. So, but I can't keep it. I've had it in here for like 2 weeks and it's still got the sulphur smell. I looked up on all the forums and stuff like that. It's just, it's dead, basically. Wow. It's very unfortunate. 40 pints down a plug hole. So with ciders, folks, what we've recommended is don't ferment them at high temperatures. Keep to the lows and you'll be alright. That's 40 pints of cider at a strength of around 4%, 4.5%. So folks, yeah, thanks very much for watching the series. There'll be nothing wrong with obviously anything else, it's just the temperatures that was messed up. So thanks very much for watching me tip the beer down the sink. Amazing stuff. But yeah, we maybe do another homebrew soon. What do you reckon? A cooking video. I'll see you soon, folks.